All right, let's get right into it. Have you ever wished you had a crystal ball to tell you when a market is about to top out, right before things get ugly? Well, today we're going to see how Elliott wave theory can give us something pretty close. We're going to look for the signs that the big bull run is running out of steam. You know that feeling, right? When a bull run is in full swing, it just feels electric. Like the party's never going to stop. But we all know it does. And the real trick isn't just riding the wave up. It's knowing when to grab your coat and head for the door before the music cuts out completely. So, how do we figure that out? Well, the magic word is confluence. See, there isn't one single indicator that's going to scream, sell at you. Instead, we're going to become financial detectives. We'll gather clues, look at different pieces of evidence, and only when they all point to the same conclusion, that a top is in, can we really act with some confidence.
So, here's our game plan. First, we're going to look at the final exhausted push of a bull market. Then, we'll pinpoint the bear's very first move. After that, we'll decode some specific patterns, and we'll wrap it all up with a super practical checklist that you can actually use.
Okay, let's start with that last gasp of the bull. In Elliott wave theory, the market moves in these predictable waves, and the final push of an uptrend is called wave 5. Now, this is the really deceptive part, because the price is hitting new highs, but underneath the surface, the engine is seriously sputtering. The best way to think about it is to picture a marathon runner. They're totally spent, but they see the finish line and they give it one last final sprint. They cross the line, they hit a new personal best, and then they just collapse. They've got absolutely nothing left in the tank. That's wave 5 in a nutshell.
And this brings us to our first huge clue, something called bearish divergence. This is the market's version of that runner's exhaustion. So the price on your screen is making a new high. Yay! But the momentum indicators, tools like the RSI or MACD that measure the energy behind the move, they're actually making a lower high. It's a massive red flag that the trend is getting tight.
Let's look at the evidence table. You see it right there. Price is ticking up, but momentum and volume are falling off. You can think of volume as the number of people at the party. If the music's getting louder, but people are slowly and quietly leaving, you know the party's about to end. That's what's happening here. And hey, don't just take my word for it. The legendary analyst Robert Prechter said it perfectly. Tops happen when you have this weak technical picture combined with just insane optimism. It's that moment when it feels like everyone, your Uber driver, your cousin, everyone on social media is a stock market genius. That's your cue to be very careful. So, okay, we've got our warning signs. The smoke signals are there. But a good detective needs more than just suspicion, right? We need confirmation. So what's the one thing that tells us, yep, it's over. The bears are in charge now?
A healthy uptrend looks like someone climbing a set of stairs. You go up a step, that's a higher high. Then you pause on that step, that's a higher low. The first real sign of big trouble is what traders call a change of character, or choach for short. It's when the price doesn't just pause, it falls and breaks below the last step it was resting on. That is the first real crack in the foundation.
And once that higher low is taken out, it's not just a crack anymore. It's a full-on break of structure, or BOS. This is it. This is the definitive signal we've been waiting for. All those little warnings we saw in wave 5 have finally led to a clear, undeniable shift in the market's behavior. So let's just put it all side by side. The end of the bull run, that's wave 5, is all about weakness hiding behind a smiling face. But the start of the bear market, what Elliott wave folks call wave A, that's about pure, decisive power. It's a sharp move down, and you see this huge surge in selling volume that just confirms everything. The trend has changed. Okay, now that we've got the big clues down, let's add a couple of specialized tools to our detective kit. We're going to check out how Fibonacci analysis and even simple candlestick patterns can help us really zero in on that market top. Fibonacci levels. I know, it sounds kind of fancy, but they're just these natural, mathematical zones where prices often turn around. Traders can project these levels on their charts to see where a trend might run out of gas. Now, if you start seeing all those other warning signs right as the price hits a key Fibonacci level, man, that is a powerful piece of evidence. And on top of that, you can look for specific candlestick patterns, like a shooting star, which can be that final, real-time alert that sellers are taking over right now. All right, it's time to bring it all home. We've gathered all our clues, we've interviewed all the witnesses on the chart, and now we are ready to build our final case for a market top. This is where that idea of confluence really becomes your superpower. So here it is, the checklist. This is the culmination of everything we've talked about. And remember, the absolute key is that we don't act on just one of these things. We wait for them to line up.
Do we have that bearish divergence? Check. Has the market structure officially broken? Check. Is selling volume suddenly spiking? Check. And is all of this happening at a major resistance area, like a fib target? The more boxes you can tick, the stronger your case is for a top.
So there you have it. You have the framework. You know how to build the case. But the final, and maybe the most important piece of this puzzle, it's not on any chart. It's all in your head. When everyone around you is euphoric, when the fear of missing out is at a fever pitch, having the discipline to trust your own analysis and step away from the herd, well, that's the hardest trade there is.